It's Monday in South Carolina. Welcome back to the Touchdowns podcast, presented by Harrison Williamson Cross Country Mortgage. For any of your mortgage or refinance needs, please give Harrison a call. When making one of the more important decisions in your life, you need someone you can trust. Call Harrison Williamson Cross Country Mortgage. It's a somber Monday. I think people were probably expecting us to do this episode yesterday, and we aren't running from it. The Gamecocks fall to the Clemson Tigers on Saturday, 28-14. We had Danny Ford on to preview this game, and that was great. And the clip of Danny talking about the game seemed to do a lot of numbers on Instagram, and I'm glad a lot of people saw that because it was spot on. He talked about the team that made the most mistakes was going to end up losing the game, as opposed to one of these teams being better than the other. I feel like that's how it played out on Saturday. The Gamecocks had 4 turnovers to Clemson's 1, and just honestly, just some of the bounces like that happen in football games when Brian Thomas he didn't sack him. He strips Cade Klubnik on 3rd and goal, and the ball just bounces right up to Cade as Brian falls down. He's able to pick it up and run to the pylon and score a touchdown. Just plays like that. Lenoris's interception that could have been overturned. I think I think anyone looking through a biased lens would say, on Carolina's side would say that was a drop, and probably everyone on Clemson's side would say it was a catch. So it's kind of just the bias in you that might determine how you feel about that play. But that was one of those plays where it could have gone our way and it didn't. That was a key play because it basically took 3. We were in field goal range. So we definitely, you think we at least get 3 points on that drive. And we just made too many mistakes. And it's exactly what Danny said. I was pretty displeased with the defensive performance in the first half. I think Clemson, honestly, give them credit. I thought they had a really good game plan. They had a lot of, honestly, it felt like some of those plays, like they were just getting dudes wide open. I don't know if it was busted coverages on our part or just the way that they set up their routes, but plenty of times throughout the game, Cade was just throwing to a guy where we had no one in the vicinity, which was extremely frustrating. He had a touchdown pass in the first quarter that he overthrew, which was awesome. Turn around and the next play he throws a pick, and so at that moment you're sitting there like, okay, like let's do this. We got Cade maybe not playing his A game today, and I don't know that he played great. He played well enough to win. Obviously, just mind-blowing stat that Cade Klubnik played 3 games against us, and he never threw a touchdown pass, and he managed to go 2-1. Pretty sickening shit when you see stats like that, and that's just to me life in this rivalry on the South Carolina side is you can literally witness a 3-year starter from the opposition not throw a touchdown pass, yet he's got 2 victories to 1 loss. So this was tough to handle. It really was the only thing that was going to be enjoyable about the season was potentially winning against Clemson. So yeah, this is officially the end to the season from hell that was 2025. And Thomas, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the game, and let's just talk about this game, and then we'll get into a little bit about this season reflection, look ahead, And let's just keep the focus around South Carolina for this episode.
Yeah. So, when Jared Brown fumbled the ball after, Lenore's completes the pass to him and gives Clemson a short field, I'm not going to lie. The Danny Ford comment was the first thing that I thought of when I was sitting there, and I'm like, here we go. We're doing exactly, what Coach Ford said that the team that's going to lose is doing. But then we were able to kind of erase that with Jalen Kilgore's interception, the play following Cade overthrowing a wide open Antonio Williams. But yeah, in the first half, we were kind of backed up from a field position standpoint in the first quarter, and I think that kind of prevented our offense from getting started those first couple drives. One of those drives, it was self-inflicted, though, just because we shouldn't have even attempted to field the punt. Should have just let it bounce and see if, put the pressure on Clemson to down it and prevent it from going into the end zone rather than just trying to field it. But, I was happy that on Clemson's first two touchdowns, we answered immediately, with the touchdown to Nick Harbor and then the touchdown to Jacobs. But, I'm tempted to bring up the Lenore's interception that probably should have been overturned. I'm tempted to bring up the roughing the punter call that should have at best been a running into the punter. And the defense didn't play as dominant as I was expecting them to. I know that Dylan was banged up. He was trying to battle through it, but he was definitely not in there as many snaps as he would have been if he were healthy. But all that being the defense gave up 3 points in the second half. All we had to do to win the game was score one touchdown in the second half. And we were shut out for the fourth time this season in the second half, the second time in 3 games under, Coach Fury calling plays. And, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. Like, the offense has been bad all year. He's coming into a bad situation. He didn't have an offseason to install his system. He didn't have an offseason to, practice the plays that he wants to run. He was doing the best with what he had to work with. But it's just absolutely infuriating the way that and we're not great, dude. Like, we're not a good team. We don't know how to win. It was another game this season that, we played all right at times, but we could not finish. We could not make the plays that you have to make to win close games. Just like we couldn't against Alabama, just like we couldn't against A&M. So yeah, like I'm kind of too old, and I've been a part of this rivalry too many times to complain about the calls that didn't go our way or like any of that. At the end of the day, we didn't win the fucking game, and it's completely unacceptable. I got my fucking ear pierced because me and Hunter Sieber, shout out Hunter Sieber, made a bet during Robert Taylor's wedding, which was the night of the Vanderbilt game. I should have known then that the writing was on the wall for this season, but I did not. Shout out Robert Taylor. Shout out Christ Church. But yeah, I mean, I will never stop talking shit. Like, that is what the rivalry is about. But I hate fucking losing to these motherfuckers. And we always, except for a few times in my lifetime, like obviously the streak under Spurrier, we had the mental edge on them. And, obviously we've won twice against them under Beamer. But it's not even that they beat us. It's just that I feel like we play tight against them. We don't fucking play well. And it just makes me crazy that their fan base is continually validated by just going into this game believing that somehow, some way, they're going to find a way to win. And more often than not, they're correct about that. I'm so fucking sick of us blowing it against them. And, you know, Beamer has used up every drop of good faith and goodwill with me. You know, I said it in our conversations. I don't know if I've said it officially on camera. I've said that if we lost that game, you know, I would want to fire him. I don't think we should fire him. I still think it is the correct decision to bring him back next year. But I don't give a fuck about his brand anymore. I don't give a fuck about the brotherhood. You know, if they want to go work out at Fort Jackson in the offseason, more power to them. Like, Luke Day, do whatever the fuck you want to do. But all this Justin King video bullshit, like the fucking video going into the fourth quarter at the stadium just fucking pissed me off. And like, they have done a lot to improve the game day experience, and that is important because at the end of the day, the way that things are trending in college football, more and more people are just choosing to stay at home rather than go to the stadium. And so everything that we can do to keep the fan base engaged and have them want to come and spend their money and be in Williams-Brice Stadium, those are good things. But none of that matters if we don't show up and perform and win the game. So it's just like he now has to win his way back into my good graces. And I think the first thing that he needs to do is talk Lenoris into coming back. And I want to address that to the fan base. Anyone in the fan base that thinks that we would be better off without him or thinks that he is not good, I want you to, I'm going to say this slowly and listen to me. You are dumb. The quickest way for us to get back on the right track for next year and moving forward in the future would be for us to convince Lenoris to come back. Did he have bad games this year? Yes. Did he miss throws this year? Yes. Did he take sacks that he probably should not have taken? Yes. But we would be astronomically, exponentially worse this year and next year without him. If you have any faith in Beamer, if you have any faith in us being good at all next year, we need to get him to come back. And you should not be bad-mouthing him in any capacity. So, yeah, I mean, the next week is going to be crucial for a lot of different reasons. You know, we need to hire an OC. The only name that has really been floated on Twitter that I've heard of is the guy that's at ECU right now. He's young. He's not. I don't care what his name is. It doesn't really matter until they sign the contract. I don't give a fuck, you know. But that guy is a young guy. He runs a college system. East Carolina has good numbers. Sure, like because and I don't care. I don't care. Like, no name is going to make me more excited than another. Until I see us come out next year and score fucking points, I don't care. You know, I'm sure that there are some names that would make the fan base happier than others, and I don't care about that either. I don't care if the fan base is happy or not. Beamer, on the other hand, you know, he's in a really tough position because he just fucking lost a game that was inexcusable to lose, and he has to turn around and convince the boosters to give him more money. I would hate to be in the position that he's in because, his little this time next year we'll be looking at the college football playoff rankings, seeing where we're going to get seated. That's great. That's great, and I hope that he's right. But like the only shred of hope that is actually tangible right now is that we haven't had a slew of decommitments. For whatever reason, Beamer has connected with the high school kids. We have one decommitment in the high school class. All of our other high-profile recruits seem to be bought into what he's selling, and none of our high-profile players have jumped in the portal yet. That could all change very fast. But until that happens, my hope is that Lenoris does come back. Nick does come back. Dylan does come back. We don't lose Clayton White to Coastal Carolina. And if we do lose Clayton White to Coastal Carolina, we retain Sterling Lucas. But even if everyone comes back and we hold the high school class together and we get some guys in the portal, if we don't win 8-9 games next year, like Beamer should be fired. And the reason that I feel that way about next season versus this season, for everyone that wants to fire him today, we extended him last year. Firing a coach the year after an extension and paying a large buyout and entering a job market that's already been exhausted. Like Penn State can't find a coach right now. They're down to their fourth or fifth option. And apparently they're getting close with the BYU guy now. But it's just like we are beyond late to the party when it comes to finding a good coach this cycle. So if he cannot correct course, then I'm fine. I'm fine with letting go of him next year when we have more money to play with and less competition. But yeah, I mean, it's just I'm fucking sick. I fucking hate losing to these guys. I am disgusted.
The thing about, and I mean, speaking specific to the game, like, I mean, what did you think about the game plan? I mean, we didn't even really. I mean, I'm not saying we would have been able to, but we didn't even really try and run the ball. We officially ended with 19 carries, 12 of which were from Lenoris. 5 of those are sacks, probably 5 are scrambles. Like, we dropped back and like I know we honestly had some success dropping back and hitting some plays in the passing game. So I mean, I'm not going to say it totally was a flop game plan, but I was just interested that that's how we chose to attack. It resulted in a couple big plays, but like we would hit maybe Jaden Sellers on a crossing route and get a drive going, but then we couldn't finish drives. Like I just feel like we weren't trying to run the ball. Like what were your thoughts just on the game plan as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think bad field position on the first few drives probably killed whatever our initial scripts were. And then when we got some breathing room, we were able to hit the bomb to Nick. And then, we hit the even bigger bomb to Jacobs. At the end of the first half, Lenoris had almost 300 passing yards. And as a team, I think we had negative rushing yards. So yeah, whether it was in the game plan that we were going to attack them through the air or we just got in there and we could not run the ball effectively, we didn't run the ball effectively. So yeah, we couldn't run the ball. We did certain things in the passing game well. Would have loved to see how the drive that Jared Brown fumbled the ball on played out had he not fumbled. I did see on Twitter, one of the Clemson beat writers, kind of just posted a compilation of their D-line whooping our O-line. and like, and I could only get through a couple clips of it because it was just so bad. I mean, the regression of Josiah Thompson just makes no sense to me. I mean, I know that TJ Parker he was a first round draft projected player coming into the season, and he's kind of underperformed. I don't know where he is on draft boards right now. There's been some talk about him coming back again, but I mean, he was just making in the clips that I watched, there was almost no resistance. Like he's in the backfield on Lenoir's back immediately. And that's the type of thing that just like makes you fucking scratch your head, because that was a big deal when we got him. Like everyone wanted him. We beat Clemson and Bama and whoever the fuck else for him, and we are not getting paid off for that. You know, when you land guys like that, they are supposed to make a difference for your program. And if anything, he's been one of the weakest links on an already bad O-line. Like, I think the best O-lineman we've had this year is probably Shed Surratt from Gaffney. And I mean, he was a 4-star, but it's like, if you look at what we have brought in on the O-line on paper, we should not be this bad. And I know that we fired Lonnie and Sean's taken over, and it hadn't really gotten any better. So it's like, was it even Lonnie, or are these kids just fucking soft? Like, I don't know the answer, but it's just, it is hard to diagnose if the game plan was bad or we just don't have the players to do anything well. But I will get, you know, if I have to give flowers to Clemson, I will say for the second year in a row, their offensive game plan, you know, they didn't put up a ton of points, but
their offensive game plan's been great the last 2 years.
Yeah, like we have not really.
My brother, who wants to make before.
Yeah.
He said if you needed somebody on Saturday, you have no problem.
Okay, I might take you up on that. You know, we did not get a lot of pressure on Cade this year or last year with our front four. We did bring some blitzes, and like we got pressure that way. But yeah, like it's very rare it's very rare that Clayton gets like out coached in my, like there are very few times in the last few years where I was like, damn, like the OC is like really out gaming Clayton. But the last couple of years against Clemson, like they have taken a lot of what I think we do well away from us. But at the same time, their offense only put up 20. Like all we needed to do to win was score 3 touchdowns. Yeah. So it's like, I still can't put it on the defense. Like, but yes, like, so I was in the stadium. It was the first game I've been to since we got our ass kicked by Georgia. I don't know when the next time I'm going to go to a game is, because I'm 0-2 in my last 2, both devastating losses. And that's another thing too. It's like we had a really good crowd pop for the Jalen Kilgore interception. Obviously, both of the touchdowns were loud. We would get loud on third down, but we just never were really able to kind of build up substantial momentum. You know, they led the entire game. Like we tied it up both times, but we never had a lead. We never scored and then got a stop and then scored. Like it just.
That was the key after the.
They completely neutralized the fact that we were at home for almost the entire game. And it's just like, dude, shout out Dr. Kostub for taking me. Like I sat in the zone. They were great seats. Like I've sat in the zone before, but if you're a Carolina fan and you've never sat in the zone, it's a great experience. Thank you for taking me, Kostub. I had a great time despite the outcome of the game. But I mean, dude, it just.
I mean, dude, it was the like I said, we were texting after the Jacobs touchdown, and we needed to middle 8 because we were getting the ball after half, and we had them 3rd and 10, and they threw a little bullshit slant, and they called Judge for pass interference. I mean, it was closer to you than to me. I mean, I haven't rewatched the game, so I don't know if it was a good or a bad call.
I think that was the right call. I think Judge panicked. Like, he didn't need to touch him. Like, it was a bad throw. He wouldn't have called it if Judge hadn't touched him. That was a situation where I feel like he felt like he was beat and he didn't want there to be yards after catch, and he panicked. So I know I said I wasn't going to complain about the calls that didn't go our way, but did they kick a field goal on the drive that was extended by the roughing the punter call?
Yeah, that was their only offensive points in the second half.
So yeah, it's just like, dude, if they don't have that lead, even if they uphold the interception that wasn't an interception, we just kick a field goal on that 4th and 3 that we went for, and it's 17-17, and who knows how the fuck the game ends. But and then touching on the 4th and 3, immediately when we came out in that formation, I was like, I hate this formation. I don't know what we're about to do, but when we lined up in whatever the fuck that was, I was like, I don't like this. And then you didn't like the slot fade to Nick on 3rd and 3, which, like, although had we run it up the middle for a yard,
I didn't hate it. Yeah, it was like.
But that's
like, we wanted a little Shula right there. Maybe we wanted a little Shula right there instead of the shot play. But then we've been asking for the shot play.
But that's why play calling is subjective. Like, if it works, it works, and when it doesn't work, you're never satisfied. Like, there are calls that you dislike more than others. But if it doesn't work and you don't win, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but there's just feel for the game type things. And like I said, I'm complimenting Clemson's game plan because they were able to get dudes wide the fuck open. Wide open without a defender in sight. Like, that's what I'm talking about. If we can just get some of those easier completions, it just helps. And, like, I mean, they didn't do anything crazy on the ground, but I mean, they gave Adam Randall 24 carries. He had 102 yards. He averaged 4 yards a pop. He didn't really break any long ones. He had a long of 13. So I mean, he was pretty much just getting, just keeping them ahead of the chains every time he ran the ball. I don't know, man. I'm just asking for a little bit of feel for the game. If you watch it, I rewatched the 4th and 3, and Mo Brown was open in the flat, and Lenoris could have hit him. And we didn't make Wade Woodaz miss once yesterday.
I know, Saturday. Dude.
We didn't win.
All year, the match. We actually played a good game. I'm so disappointed.
Sammy Brown's a stud, and he made some great plays. But I expected him to be able to make plays. Like, we didn't make Woodaz miss once. Like, of course that fucker had the game of his life. Like, that's what I think separated it is when we got the mismatches, we didn't take advantage. The 4th and 3, I think Mo Brown was open, but also they were in
the backfield immediately.
Yeah, and then they were also all over our little bullshits to the flat. Like, can we eliminate that tight end flat play that fucking Shula was obsessed with? I mean, hell, even Dowell was obsessed with it. It just worked a couple times with Josh Simon last year. Like, I don't know what it is. I mean, and it worked against Virginia Tech the first drive of the year.
But see, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
But like,
you don't have a
that's what I'm
problem with the
saying.
play. You have a problem with the result.
But Clemson was they had that shit sniffed out. Like there was like we ran that in like 4 times, and before it was every single time it was a big hit from Clemson because they knew exactly what was coming, and we couldn't even complete it.
Yeah,
because the defender is so close, he's hitting right as the ball touches his hands. Like I don't know, man. Just a little bit of fucking creativity would go a long way. Like make the defense second guess themselves. Like we're just so bland. Like and we can't block. So it's easy like it's good to be bland when you have an offensive line that's good. Like we have to this next offensive coordinator has to be creative, like and we say like college versus pro style, but like it really is true. Like Alabama got away with a pro style offense. Ohio State's doing it right now just because they're fucking better than everyone. When you don't have a distinct advantage, especially at the line of scrimmage, you have to be way more creative. I mean, the play to Nick was beautiful because guess what we did? We moved the pocket so that Lenoris could step into the throw. And he delivered a 65-yard handoff. Like, it was beautiful. Like,
right.
but
he actually had a pot. That's Carolina
we
fan.
moved it. That's why he had one.
But
he's not going to just be able to do it.
I know that we moved it, but I'm just saying that is what he can do if he actually has a pocket. Like, he is very, very, very good. He could improve, of course. He's made mistakes, yes. But we have done him such a disservice this year in so many ways. If we could just give him a pocket and an open receiver, he can make any throw in the game. There is no throw he can't make. That 65-yarder in the air, he didn't even have to step into it. It was a flick of the wrist, dime, right in the fucking breadbasket because he had a pocket and someone to throw it to. Nick was open. Like,
no, I'm with you.
If he doesn't come back, I'm going to be sick because it doesn't matter where he goes. I know he's going to be great, and we will.
No, I absolutely want him back. I think we have to.
Anyone who thinks that we would be better off without him or doesn't want him will live to regret it if he does not come back. We should be begging him to stay.
No, we absolutely need him to come back. And that's what, I mean, dude, that's what I'm, like, as I was listening to Beamer on Saturday after the game, I was just like, dude, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. I get it, you're in front of a mic, so you have to say something. But, like, all this hype up on 2026, it's whatever. It's falling on deaf ears. Like, he's pretty much lost the fan base. I mean, I would say majority of the fan base doesn't want him coaching next year. And the portion of the fan base that is like, I'm just of the opinion that he's our coach for next year. So I'm going to support him. I'm not happy at all with this year. Like there's no, like,
I mean, the reason that I'm rooting for him still is because I don't want to have to do another fucking rebuild. I want him to figure it out because if he doesn't figure it out, it means that we're going to suck again next year and we have to go through the whole new coach and like the prospect of us being good again is 3 or 4 years away. And that makes me want to jump off the roof. I just want him to fucking get it right. I'm not happy about the season, but I'm desperate that he can turn it around because I don't have another rebuild in my soul. Like I need him to be the one that gets it right.
Yeah. But I also like no one no one believes in him. Like, I just need him to shut the fuck up, and what you can do to make me believe in you is flip Julian Walker. He's the number one player in the state, and we're letting him get out of the state and go to fucking Michigan. Flip him, finish the signing class strong, make sure every single good player on this current roster is retained for next year. Because if you don't retain the good players and you don't, you mentioned it earlier, it sounds like he's doing a good job of keeping the high school recruiting class together, which is positive. But if you don't retain the good players on this team, then you have literally nothing. Because what he is banking on is the culture that he's built within this program. And we've talked about it some on previous podcast episodes, and as the losses started to pile up, we talked about how the culture is going to get tested. Well, the losses haven't stopped piling up. We officially have ended this season 4-8. We beat three teams that fired their coach and South Carolina State. Fucking pathetic season. Like, beyond pathetic. Like, I've been defending this guy against Muschamp, and it rivals Muschamp's worst seasons. Maybe even potentially worse. Like, the COVID year, Muschamp, 2-8, but we played all SEC teams. You know, COVID was a weird year, but like the 4-8 year before that, like, we had the same record. I can't even remember who we fucking beat that year with Muschamp. I think maybe we had an upset against like Auburn or something that like made everyone feel good. Yeah, that made everyone feel good. But like, he just needs to, like, just everything he was saying, it's just like, dude, shut up. Like,
right. I don't care. Like, you have to win games. Like, you have to win this game. Like, he had. This was the worst Clemson team that they have had in probably 15 years. And he lost to them. Like, Muschamp at least had a little bit of grace because two of the Clemson teams that he lost to won the fucking national championship. This Clemson team is not good. And I know they're not good because I watched them be bad all year. And we made them look good. And that makes me insane. It makes me fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I hate them so much. I hate losing to them so much. And he had a fucking easy win against them, fucking gift wrapped, and he fucking didn't deliver it to me.
So one of these group chats I'm in sent me. So we haven't won since 2013. We haven't even led at Williams-Brice since 2013. How fucking crazy is that? We haven't even held a fucking lead the last 6 games at Williams-Brice. We've been trailing for like 80%, and we've been tied for like 20% of game time. I mean, that's 3 games under Muschamp and 3 games under Beamer. Like, fucking, like, bro, that's bad. Like, it's good that Beamer got the 2 dubs in Pickens, but like, can't lose this game, man. But this is the story of this year's team. Like, I'm so glad this season's over. Like, people always talk about, like, why do you care so much about sports, and sports don't matter. And it is literally intoxicating as a sports fan watching your team perform well. Like, it is a dopamine hit. Like, I could take an ecstasy pill and not get high watching the 2025 South Carolina Gamecocks. Like, they're just sobering in every way. They, like, every time you think they're going to do something good, it backs. Like, they beat themselves. They are the worst situational football team I've ever watched in my lifetime. I mean, we can't, like, 1 for 12 on third down against Clemson. Like, and Clemson's was 7 for 15 or whatever. Like, just situationally, like, we couldn't. This game is a microcosm of the whole season. Like, we just never could get off the field when we needed to. And I know I keep harping on that with the defense, and the defense isn't to blame for this season or this game. They did perform well enough to keep us in a lot of games, but like we couldn't convert a third down. Like, it's just bad. So I'm just asking Beamer, go prove it. Go get a innovative offensive mind and let him do his thing. Don't be overbearing on what he wants to do, because clearly whatever mindset you've had towards how this offense is supposed to run and perform ain't working. We haven't been in the top half of the SEC in offense his entire tenure. We haven't been. I think we've been bottom 3 or 4 in rushing every single year under him. We've produced 1,000-yard receiver in 5 seasons. That was Xavier Legette in 2023. We've never produced a 1,000-yard rusher under Beamer. Like, Raheem Rocket Sanders was the closest. I think he had a little under 900 last year. Like, it's just, he's got to get out of his own way. And, like, I hate comparing him to Dabo, because I think a lot of my Clemson buddies wanted to compare him to Dabo just to get under my skin, because obviously we don't like Dabo, so comparing him to Dabo would in turn be, something that would get under my skin. And like, they're friends or whatever. Dabo and Shane are friends, and like, there are some similarities there, but maybe he does need to be more like Dabo in the sense of just hire a good offensive coach and don't mess with him. Like, I'm pretty sure Dabo didn't have a damn thing to do when Brent Venables was running their defense and they were winning national championships. And it's the most successful Dabo's been at Clemson. Like, just you are still the figurehead, and you don't have to be a cheerleader. You can still be involved, and but that's the truth too. He's never been a coordinator on the offensive or defensive side of the ball. So you can have the vision, but you need to let the offensive coach run the offense and just get your fucking hands off of it. Like, and that's what I think he has to do. He has to look himself in the mirror and say, what do I need to do to win games? And it might be being more hands off when it comes to the ins and outs of what we're actually doing from an offensive standpoint. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I would be curious to know what type of oversight he's had with the offensive coordinators so far. Like, to my knowledge, he wasn't telling any of our OCs what plays to call. Like, he hasn't hired great candidates so far. I think Dowell's been his only good hire at OC, and a lot of people would say that Dowell wasn't that great either. Like, I think Dowell was fine. Like, we scored enough points to win games, and I do feel like Dowell did things from a scheme perspective that took advantage of people, and we did have guys wide open. So, like, the Mazio Bennett touchdown against Alabama last year, there was no one within fucking 15 yards of him. So it's like Dowell did get guys open. I think, yeah, like he needs to get someone that can instill confidence in Lenoir's family that it's worth them staying. Because, I mean, I'm sure that if Lenoir's does leave, like, we'll go into the portal and we'll get somebody, but they're not going to be as good as him. They might be good enough to win us some games, but, like, if we lose Lenoir's, like, my expectations for next season go down substantially. And I don't know what my expectations are for next season, even if we retain Lenore's, because we had Lenore's this year and we failed him with the OC and the O-line. Like, I know that I will, because I always drink the Kool-Aid every year, and I know that, I will set unrealistic expectations going into next season. But sitting here on December 1st, like, I don't have any confidence or any faith until they're going to have to show me something. That's how I feel right now. Like, I want Lenore's to stay. I want our good players to stay. I want our good recruits to stay. Go get someone in the portal that I can get excited about. But even if all that happens, I'm still going to have to watch us score points next year and win a game against a good team before I'm like, okay, we're back.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's show improved time. Like, fucking, yeah. I don't care what he has to say. Like, I know he's got to be in front of a mic, but just like every time he's in front of a mic, I've been saying it in the chat, like, just shut the fuck up, man. Just go do it. And so, to your point, like, I'm not really putting any stock into anything Beamer says. Just go finish the high school class well. They're, and there's two guys in our high school class, Darius Gray, and Zion. Oh God, I'm gonna mess up his last name. Zion Giles.
I think it's Giles.
Giles. Those are two guys that could be immediate impact guys on this offensive line. Like, it's not, Georgia, Alabama, they all start freshman offensive linemen. Like, all of these good teams start freshmen on the offensive line. You gotta hope that those guys can be difference makers, impact players immediately. And that's what's gonna turn, and like you said, we'll start drinking the Kool-Aid.
If
summer comes around,
if we're trying to, if I were trying to sunshine pump, the angle I would take is Darius Gray could be an immediate impact player next fall. Shed Surratt will be a year older and more experienced. Maybe we finally get to see Marquis Anderson make his debut. He was another high-profile in-state offensive lineman that we had to beat Clemson and others out for, and he hasn't played. And, like, he's been hurt, but it's just like,
yeah,
still go into the portal and get the best O lineman you can find, but you can't really find tackles in the portal, so you kind of have to make do with what you are able to bring in from high school. But we're not losing anybody to the NFL or to that's out of eligibility that was worth a damn. So hopefully these young talented guys that we have improve. Like, I don't know if he plans to, like, I don't know if the OC that we bring in is going to clean house and bring his own people. I don't know what he plans to do with Sean Elliott, but I hope that whoever the fuck the O-line coach is next year does a better job than anybody that we've had up until this point.
Yeah. No, some big decisions looming, big things. There's going to be a lot of news here in the next month or so. The transfer portal doesn't officially open until January 2nd, so we won't really know about the guys on the team. I mean, hopefully we start to see announcements in December, like, hey, I'm staying, stuff like that. But we won't know until we know. So we're going to continue to monitor. There's You mentioned it. Clayton White is rumored for the Coastal head coaching job. We have our own offensive coordinator search. So there's a lot of moving things. Even though the season's over, we're still going to be talking about this team, um, as well as the greater college football landscape, which there's a lot going on as it relates to that. So we're going to talk about the coaching carousel and the college football playoff come Wednesday's episode. So everyone make sure to tune in there. And we'll always, also be doing our DB Blitz picks for championship week. And speaking of the DB Blitz, let's recap quickly last week's debacle. As always, DB Blitz is sponsored by Hughley Insurance. For any of your home or auto insurance needs, go to hughleyinsurance.com. Give them a call. Austin and Greer are your guys for home and auto in the state of South Carolina. 1-4 for Beck. Obviously, the Cox lost. Miami, easy cover. I felt good about that one. UGA, I'm done betting on UGA. I'd be curious to know what their record against the spread is. I feel like they'd never cover. But yeah, I'm just done betting UGA. I might bet against them, honestly, in the playoff. But Arkansas couldn't send Bobby out with a win. That game was actually, a touchdown game, and there was a questionable call. Should have been a targeting on Taylon Green. They didn't call it. Fucking Missouri. In the ensuing punt, Missouri took to the house and put that game out of reach. And then OU, of course, LSU couldn't be playing worse, and they give OU a scare. I mean, OU is one of those interesting teams that, again, I don't know, just based off their body of work, I don't think there's any chance they get left out of the playoff, but it's one of those teams where they might be a team to target as a fade in the college football playoff. They've won 4 games, getting outgained by 100 yards, or 3. So just an interesting team, but they have a great defense, and it doesn't matter how many yards you put up; it matters how many points you put up. But just one of those teams that's winning funky, and so they might be a fade for me. But yeah, they should have beat the shit out of LSU. But yeah, 1-4 for me. Shitty week.
Let's see. I went 1, 2. Did the Ole Miss Mississippi State under hit?
It's 38-19.
Yes, I went 3-2. Sure enough, we were on the same side of the same game. It was a loss. We can't do it. If we're on the same side of the same game, we're gonna lose. We gotta swap those out. A&M not only doesn't cover, they lose outright to Texas. Such that whole collapse by them. I'm just of course they shit down their leg against Texas, but they play flawlessly in the second half against us. Ohio State got the monkey off their back. And then the unders hit. I'm starting to feel it with these unders. I know you think that I shouldn't be allowed to play them, but that's the only thing I can really hit right now. And trying to give out winners for the fans. But 3-2 week for me. Still not back to 500, but I'm still ahead of you. So I'll take some solace in that.
Yeah, and as evidenced by your ear, Adugas always pays his debts. So we're living and dying by these picks. So it's been tough season, but we got championship week, we got playoffs, we got bowl games. Still a lot of season left. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us over on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. The TikTok is TD's Locks. You should probably update that to touchdowns, 5 points.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But yeah, follow us on all those platforms. Subscribe to YouTube Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen or watch. We appreciate everyone tuning in. A very, very disappointing season for the Gamecocks has come to an end. Finally, I'm thankful that it's over. Gonna put this one in the past and flush it, and look forward to what the Gamecocks can do in 2026. Like I mentioned, we're going to be talking recruiting. We're going to be talking transfer portal, coaching searches, everything going on within the program for football. We'll still be touching on in our weekly episodes, talking about the larger college football landscape as well. And then, as basketball season starts to gear up, we'll mention, we'll make mention of our Gamecock basketball team and baseball as well as we get into the spring. But predominantly football, but supporting other Gamecock athletics that we follow as well. So appreciate everyone listening, and this is going to be a wrap. Go Cox.
Go Cox.